From clutch buzzer beaters to jaw-dropping dunks,
LeBron James with no regard for human life.
these are LeBron James 1 in a million, billion, trillion, whatever you want to call it, moments.
Banks it in.
To be the best to ever play the game has motivated me.
This first play happened when the Miami Heat were hosting the Chicago Bulls at the American Airlines Arena in Miami. As James drove towards the basket, he saw John Lucas in his way, but rather than slowing down, James leaped into the air right over the top of all 5'11" Lucas with incredible grace and athleticism. And he gave the poor guy a ferocious stare down. Yeah, that play was nasty, but LeBron's victim on this next play was one of the better-known defenders in the league. On March 15, 2018, the Cleveland Cavs were facing off against the Portland Trail Blazers. Now, the game was already in full swing when LeBron James made a play that would go down in NBA history. As James drove towards the basket, he saw Nurkic standing in his way, but rather than avoid contact, James went right at the 7-foot center, rising up with incredible power and slamming the ball through the hoop with one hand. This dunk was so emphatic that Nurkic didn't stand a damn chance. Bow to the king, big boy.
Inside! He made use of Nurkic's screensaver!
Now, LeBron's played with a lot of talented players over his career, but none of them quite had that same chemistry with LeBron on the court as Dwayne Wade. And in this play, as Wade was hauling up the court, he threw a quick bounce pass to LeBron, and everyone in the arena knew exactly what was about to happen. James slammed it home, igniting the crowd and sending his teammates into a frenzy. And the play happened so quick that most people in the arena barely had time to react, but a photographer managed to capture the moment perfectly, and it would go down as one of the coldest NBA photos. Yeah, that no-look pass from Wade was pretty sick, but LeBron's known to be a pretty nasty facilitator too. And on this play, LeBron James froze the entire stadium.
Tries to get back to him. Smith missed it badly and carries out James with a new shot clock. Great no-look.
He looked one way and then threw a perfect no-look pass right to Ante Zizic for the easiest basket of his life. He pretty much left everyone wondering what the heck just happened. Just watch the two Lakers players running over to Korver, who they thought was going to get the pass. Now, obviously, the King is clearly a brilliant offensive player, but next, let's check out one of the best defensive plays of his career. In 2009, Jason Richardson learned the hard way that you should never showboat when you're playing against LeBron James. With no one around him, or at least he thought, Richardson attempted a 360 slam, but James sprinted down the court, and he was hauling trying to get back on D to attempt the block, and man, was he successful. This block was straight up nasty.
When he was on the bench, he started to tighten up. He had trouble walking the locker room. Right now he's being reevaluated.
Come on, man, know your place, J. Rich. No matter how hard they tried, the Pacers just couldn't beat LeBron in the playoffs. In 2018, LeBron was truly a one-man army who put the Cavs on his back and led them all the way to the NBA Finals once again.
Depot matched up with James. 5 to shoot. Oladipo makes his move. Drives to the rim. Oh, it's blocked by James!
Not only did he swat Victor Oladipo like an unwanted mosquito, but he then dropped the game-winning three at the buzzer on the other end of the floor.
James, 2 seconds, 1 second to the win!
I'm telling you, when LeBron gets to the playoffs, he just elevates his game to a whole nother level. And speaking of elevating, check out this massive swat on Splitter. This next play here took place in LeBron's Heat days versus the San Antonio Spurs during the 2013 NBA Finals. Thiago Splitter cut to the net and got way up to try to dunk the ball, but LBJ had other plans. Just take a look at this block in real time. It's really something else.
4 to shoot. Parker, thread the heat. Oh, what a block from James!
Seriously, don't test LeBron. Don't stand in his way, because he's just built different. Now, this next play was one of the most ferocious dunks of LeBron's entire career. Chalmers to Cole, who lobbed up an alley-oop pass, and just watch what happens next.
Jason Terry, good defense.
Way from behind takes it away. Chalmers. Oh, James!
Now, you could argue that LeBron easily had like 50 pounds on Terry, but come on then, don't try and attempt to block the shot, right? Unless his plan was to get run over that night, but I'm honestly not sure what Terry was thinking. Now, this next dunk was one we've seen done before by a Laker legend, the late Kobe Bryant. We know for a fact that LeBron knew exactly which kind of dunk he wanted to do once he saw that open lane, and he executed that reverse dunk perfectly as a tribute to the Black Mamba. And LeBron has thrown down some ridiculous slams in his day, but he's also hit some clutch buzzer beaters. This was on May 5th, 2018, and the Cleveland Cavs were taking on the Toronto Raptors in Game 3 of a playoff series. Now, the game had been intense from the start, with both teams fighting hard at every possession. With just seconds left on the clock, the score was tied 103-103. The Cavs had possession of the ball, and all eyes were on James, and we all could pretty much feel that he was about to do something special. LeBron dribbled the ball up the floor as he was being closely guarded by OG Anunoby, but come on, one player is not enough to stop him, so you already know what the outcome's going to be.
Good night, Cleveland! That is for you!
Taking it back to his early days on the Cavs, this was Game 4 of the Eastern Conference semifinals, and the Cleveland Cavs were facing off against the Boston Celtics. The Cavs were down 2-1 in this series, and they really needed a win to keep their hopes alive. And suddenly, LeBron James got the ball at the top of the key when Kevin Garnett made the business decision to step up and try and stop him. LeBron, though, wasn't fazed, as he ended up doing this to KG.
Pierce again. A Smith screen. Posey will defend. Oh! LeBron James with no regard for human life.
In this next play, King James showed off his sheer dominance on both ends of the floor. The Minnesota Timberwolves visited the Cavs mid-season in 2008, and with just seconds left on the clock in overtime, the score was tied at 138 apiece. The T-Wolves had possession of the ball, and Jimmy Butler was looking to make a play. So he drove hard to the basket, but LeBron was there to meet him at the rim. James rose up and swatted Butler's shot away with authority, sending the crowd into a frenzy. And then LeBron did this.
That is like one of his patented moves. The fadeaway J going away from the defender. Look where Butler was. Butler almost got it.
Another clutch shot from LeBron. It's just crazy that there's actually some people who think he's not clutch. Now, in the early millennium, the Detroit Pistons had the most respected defense in the NBA, but even they couldn't handle LeBron, and he was only 22 years old at the time. On May 31st, 2007, the Cavs were playing the Pistons in the Eastern Conference Finals, and the series was tied at 2. Now, as the game progressed, LeBron James just began to take over. He scored basket after basket, getting to the rim with ease and hitting shots from pretty much anywhere he wanted. I think someone forgot to turn down the sliders that night. The Pistons tried everything they could to stop him, throwing double teams and traps at him, but James was just in a zone, completely unstoppable. And with each passing possession, it became clear that James was on a mission. He kept scoring, and before anyone knew it, he'd racked up 25 straight points for the Cavs. And as the final minutes ticked away, James put the Cavs on his back and led the team to a 109-107 victory in double overtime. He finished that game with 48 points total, but it was those 25 straight that everyone remembers. It was a performance for the ages and really one of the all-time greatest of LeBron's career. So I still don't understand how LeBron even led this Cavs team to the playoffs, but man, how I wish they could have beaten the Magic. We would have had ourselves a LeBron versus Kobe final. Anyway, with just 1 second remaining in the game, with the Cavs trailing by 2 points, LeBron James received the inbounds pass from the sideline, and then this happened.
Off the ball. Lewis gets it to LeBron for 3 for the win. Yes! LeBron James!
Now we're going to take it back to what I think will go down as probably one of the greatest NBA finals in history. I'm talking about the 2016 finals that saw the Cavs come back from a 3-1 deficit and beat the 73-9 Golden State Warriors in Game 7 of the finals. And we all remember what LeBron did during that game, but we got to take a trip down memory lane. With just under 2 minutes left in the game, the score was tied at 89. and the Warriors had possession of the ball and were looking to take the lead. Andre Iguodala drove towards the basket looking to score, but LeBron James had other ideas. As we've already seen a bunch of times in this video, James is known for his incredible athleticism and defensive skills, and he rose up to meet Iguodala at the rim. That block was a game changer, and it shifted all the momentum in favor of the Cavs. It was James' incredible athleticism combined with his sheer determination to win that produced one of the most memorable plays in NBA history. So, from game winners to flashy passes and dunks, LeBron James really has a whole bunch of one-in-a-million moments, but there's another player in the NBA who's also had his fair share of moments too. So, click the video that appears on your screen now to watch.